my name is Dr Lewis Dartnell and I'm a UK Space Agency Research Fellow at the University of Leicester. And what I'm going to try and do is answer some of your questions about outer space. Josh, who's 15 and from Dorset, asks, what happens when something organic or inorganic crosses the event horizon of a black hole? And what happens when that something reaches the centre of a black hole? Well, Josh, this is a great question. And I think that falling into a black hole is possibly the most disgusting way that you could meet your end, that you could die in outer space. Because as you approach the event horizon, you approach the lip, the outside of the black hole, you get subjected to what are known as tidal forces. The very powerful, fierce gravity of the black hole is tugging at your toes ever so slightly more strongly than the top of your head. So you get stretched out thinner and thinner in a process that's known as spaghettification. But if you fall into a particularly big black hole, the kind of thing we think lurks in the centre of our galaxy, you'd probably survive spaghettification. That process wouldn't happen to you, and you might fall all the way through the event horizon and towards the centre of the black hole, which you call the singularity. Now, we don't really quite understand what happens in the singularity of a black hole. Our physics, our understanding of physics and the laws of the universe can't quite explain that. But almost certainly you'd be in a very bad way by the time you headed towards the singularity, and would probably actually be dead from all of the high energy radiation that would be surrounding the black hole or inside it, all falling down in towards that singularity. So if you ever do go on holiday in space, stay well clear of any black holes you come across. Danuki, who's 12 and lives here in London, wants to know, is there life elsewhere in the universe? And this is actually exactly what my own science, what my research is all about. I'm an astrobiologist and I'm interested in the search for life beyond our planet. And one of the things that I study, and one of the things that gives us a lot of confidence that there might be life beyond our homeworld, are some of the hardiest and most extreme-loving life forms we find on Earth, the so-called extremophile organisms. And we find things surviving in very cold temperatures, or very hot temperatures, or in very, very salty water, or very acidic water. And if we look beyond our solar system, out into the galaxy as a whole, in just the last 15 years or so, we've now discovered over 800 new worlds orbiting other stars out there in the night sky. These are called extrasolar planets. They're worlds orbiting other suns in our galaxy. And although we haven't discovered one just right yet, we haven't found a twin of our Earth orbiting a sun-like star at the right distance, so it's not too cold or not too hot, but just right, a so-called Goldilocks world, we think that they're out there. And so when we discover these twins of our homeworld, these other Earth-like planets, perhaps they would have the best chance for having life on them, and possibly even complex life like trees and forests and animals living on them. Zoe, who's 18, and Oliver, who's 17 from Cambridge, have asked a very similar question. And what they want to know is whether there's any intelligent life likely to be outside the Earth. Now, although I'm an astrobiologist, although I'm a scientist fascinated in the possibility of life beyond our Earth, personally, I don't think there's any intelligent life out there in our galaxy. I don't think there's anything that we could have a chat or a conversation with. And the reason I think that is in all of the 50 years that we've been searching and listening with radio telescopes for messages or text messages or tweets, if you like, coming from the stars, we haven't heard a single thing. And the reason I think that might be is because there's nothing else intelligent out there sending these broadcasts. So I suspect that life might be common out there in the galaxy, that there's plenty of wet rocks teeming with life, but kind of microbial life or perhaps simple animals. But I don't think there's any intelligent civilization building life like us humans out there. And that's it. Thank you ever so much for all of your excellent questions. And I hope some of that has inspired you to now enter the National Science and Engineering competition. Good luck with that.